Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering this week and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Westwood, and I'm here today with senior columnist Tim Carney. And Tim, a lot has been said about the Democrats being in trouble heading into the midterms. But what do you think are some of the specific factors that are contributing to this sort of widespread belief?
Well, the main thing is inflation. Everything's becoming more expensive, and the party in power always gets blamed for the economy. And in this case, you can actually connect the dots. The Democrats passed massive spending bills that injected money into the economy and created inflation. But the culture war has proven very potent as well. I think that's why Glenn Youngkin won the governor race in Virginia last year, because what you had was people just seeing that Democrats were elevating sort of their woke stuff on race and on gender above sort of competence in governance. So I think that's a 1-2 punch where the economics and the culture help the Republicans.
If you had to pick, sort of one of those things, like you mentioned, the culture war stuff seemed to be the primary issue in the Virginia gubernatorial race. But if you had to pick between the culture stuff and the economic stuff, what do you think spells the most trouble for Democrats?
Inflation, absolutely inflation. Because again, this is not just a case where it's a bad economy and the Democrats are in charge. The economy in a lot of ways is good. There's one very specific, very bad thing. I mean, we're talking 7-8% inflation. It becomes hard for anybody to move and buy a house. It becomes hard for anybody to plan their future, and you can connect this directly to the Democrat spending. The bottom line is that culture issues only sort of bubble up when people aren't thinking explicitly about the economy. So Biden is trying to blame this on Vladimir Putin, but people know at this point that the prices were rising incredibly before Putin invaded Ukraine. So his only hope is that people forget that and start to believe the story that this is about Putin.
Is there anything at this point that you think sort of cuts in the Democrats' favor?
There's a few things. The Senate map, for instance, I mean, the states that are opening up with open seats, you've got Pennsylvania is probably one of the states most likely to flip. That's a seat currently held by Pat Toomey. So the Senate map is a little bit in favor of the Democrats. And then there's just the fact that the Republicans are a party in disarray. They're going to benefit from it being a midterm in the first term of a Democratic president and the economy. But Republicans have been nominating subpar candidates. You've got Donald Trump hanging over the head where he wants to talk about the 2020 elections. Talking about the past is not going to be a winning issue. So basically, there's lots of ways Republicans could ruin their own golden opportunity.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for being here today. You can get more writing from Tim and the rest of the commentary team at WashingtonExaminer.com.